Luther Broughton, what's going on, man? Welcome to another awesome episode of Cheap Shots. I
Uh,
think everyone missed us last week. We were just busy, got stuff to do,
yeah,
traveling, seeing kids.
yeah, I had a
Happens.
lot going on last week. I got stuff going on this week too, but that's why I wanted to do it today. I
But I
knew
know,
I
I know you were traveling to see your daughter. Congratulations, she's a freshman at University of Maryland.
Yep,
And I
yep,
had to
yep.
get this in. I couldn't let this go. Was she playing quarterback for them on Saturday?
Who, Maryland?
Yeah,
She was playing quarterback for them when I went up there, dude. To his brother,
dude, they got pasted.
dude. Against Iowa, he threw six in. So before the game, Tagovailoa was leading the country with the least amount of interceptions. After the game I went to 2 weeks ago, he was leading the country in most interceptions.
Is that his brother? Is that to his brother?
Yes,
And
that's his brother.
man, I saw that score and I was like, I got to say something to Luther at this point. But
Yeah,
overall, a good weekend of college football in general.
really good
Um,
weekend. Terrible
yeah,
weekend for Texas, but you
oof.
can't have a lead that big and lose the game.
But
Wow.
when you don't care about the game, that stuff's fun. That's the best.
Right. I kind of want Texas to win because my cousin plays there now, but
Oh, really?
it's still it's still who? Me?
No, he wants me to raise my camera. That's our producer, Zach, who's been just fantastic all night.
Yeah, my cousin plays there, so I root for them. But I'm not gonna say I'm some huge Texas fan, but I root for my family.
Well,
Um,
that's nice of you. I kind of root for Penn State. Tough loss, but you lose your starting quarterback, and I don't know who the backup was, but he was absolute garbage.
oh,
You're not beating you're
he was
not beating Iowa in Iowa, and
he
Iowa
was
always
really
gives Penn
bad.
State fits.
Yeah,
Um,
I saw the end. He was really bad. I felt bad for the kid actually.
yeah, because
He was bad.
he's not getting paid as far as we know. Maybe he is. I don't know. Maybe he is now. So anyway, before we get into the NFL, there's a couple things I want to get into. Luther, if you can explain this to me as someone that's not a Sixers fan, how does Ben Simmons come back from that? They're talking about bringing him back. Obviously, he doesn't like losing checks. I get it.
That's
And the Sixers,
a lot of money he's giving up because he's in his feelings. And his
yes.
agents and his family are probably like, okay, it's time to go. They're not going to be able to trade me because I mean he's ruining his value by being out, and other teams are like, screw you, Sixers. He ain't coming back. So I'm gonna offer you Luther Broughton and his daughter for Simmons.
So they're really both bent over a barrel because you
Yeah.
have the Sixers can't trade him. Nobody's going to give you value for him, and now he has to come back and turn tail because he's losing so much money.
Right.
And then there's the whole PR nightmare of the thing. Everyone wants him gone. They hate him. They can't stand him in
I mean, what
Philadelphia.
what is he gonna say when he gets there? Like, what are you gonna say to your teammates?
Who he ignored and said, "Don't call me."
What are they gonna say to you? How is that gonna be? It's gonna be ugly, all because criticized. It comes with the territory.
Right.
They didn't tell you you were a bad father, or they found out your mother was a prostitute. They didn't say that. No one got your wife pregnant or your girlfriend pregnant. That didn't happen. So I think he's being a coward a little bit.
So is the only resolution I can think of as
It's
far
to
as an
trade him.
agreement, well, is to say you come to camp and we'll continue to try to trade you, right?
Right. But he has to come to camp and he has to perform. Like, you can't just come here so I can give you this huge check. I'm
Well,
going to need you to play like a champ.
he can do
I'm
that.
going to need you to do what we criticized you about. I'm going to need you to get better so we can win, and then I can trade you. Which is just, man, it's so bad. That's a tough situation for everybody involved.
It's a complete mess. They're trying
I
to build
mean, they
around him.
made their bed as well. They kind of cater to him.
I agree.
I'm hearing, I'm reading. I'm not hearing. I'm not. I'm no.
Sources close to the situation.
I'm no freaking insider, but
Our
like
audience doesn't need to know that.
I'm no basketball insider. That's for sure. But he was the reason they didn't re-sign Jimmy Butler.
I think Buckets wanted out
Because Ben wanted the ball in his hand, and Jimmy had the ball in his hand, and Ben's camp didn't want Jimmy back.
Really? I
yeah.
thought Buckets wanted out because Brett Brown was letting the inmates run the asylum, and that Embiid and Ben could do whatever they want. And there's probably some of that, but
Look,
Jimmy
man,
wants to win so bad, and that
I'm not going to say that I know any of that. I'm telling you, that's just what I heard. I'm not going to say, oh, that's your. I don't know any. I don't know a lot of basketball insiders. I'm just saying. Everybody wants to win. I don't want to hear that Jimmy wants to win so bad. Crap. All I know is
he wants to win more than Ben Simmons. Absolutely.
They chill. That's not the conversation, but that's not what I'm debunking.
Fair, fine.
The whole Jimmy wants to win so bad, whatever. I want to win too, but I mean, I wasn't that good. But Jimmy was a guy who wasn't a point guard, but he had the ball in his hand. And Ben's people always wants more for him than he's showing that he deserves. But it's the reality is in the NBA, you're gonna have to pay a guy a big deal when they become free because basketball players aren't a dime a dozen. Really good players are gonna get paid. Average players are gonna get paid. That's just what it is. And Ben got paid like he was a superstar because his deal was up.
And because everyone thought he'll get it together. He'll figure it out. He'll get the shot together. He just doesn't. And I'm tired of hearing people say, you know what he needs to do this offseason? He needs to go to the gym and shoot. That's not the problem. Because the problem is he doesn't want to shoot when the lights are on.
I don't understand how a guy is being told to shoot the ball. And he is just he doesn't want to shoot the basketball.
Right.
Like whatever, man.
Look, it's not whether you're good at it or not. You have to at least take it and let them know you make them come out at least a few more feet. Dude, they just wait. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, and he is what he is.
The guy passed up a dunk.
That's what killed him. That was the final nail in the coffin in Philadelphia.
The final nail, and whatever, man. Enough of Ben.
All right.
I'm sick of talking about him.
Let's talk about a nicer subject.
Conversation. Who? John Gruden.
John Gruden's comments.
I knew you were going to say that because you know I don't care. Listen.
No, you know what? No personal bias at this, Luther. I don't think you would.
Bias at this point.
I got you. I trust you.
If I had if John showed me at any point when I was with him that he was a racist, I would say I absolutely believe that what he meant, that what he said he meant in a racist manner. I would say that. I don't know that, but here's the thing. It's a racist trope, so that's you know what I'm trying to say?
Sure.
You're listen, I know there are a lot of people out there, especially people our age who didn't grow up with my grandparents, who are like, oh, so what? They call a guy, they said a guy has a big lip. Mick Jagger has big lips. Like, come on, when you boil down to it, you know the whole privately bagging on a black man's big lip and nose was a huge racist trope, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
John is saying that he was making a remark because that was about lying. He said there's a saying he says that when somebody lies, they have rubber lips because it all bounces back to them.
Is that true? I've never heard that.
I've never heard that at all, right? But I'm not going to sit here and kill him. I'm definitely not going to defend him. I am 100% in the middle on this because I'm not going to do either. I'm not going to go crazy or do either. But I hated how he's like yesterday. He basically deemed it over. I'm not taking it
because you said it was over, John.
Because he said it was over, and that's why I don't like him. He's an asshole.
Yeah.
It's over. I already answered the questions on that. I don't have a racist bone in my body. You know
what that reminds me of? You know what that reminds me of?
Say I have a black friend, or I don't see color.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Color. There's a you look different from me, Micah. I fucking see color. I see it.
Yeah.
And you know, people, I don't have a racist bone in my body. Everybody does. Everybody has some type of thought that if they look out there, if I roll down the hood and I see some dude rolling up and he looks rough, I'm thinking,
I'm crossing the street.
I'm crossing the street, and I'm thinking that's a little racist. And I'm black. I'm thinking that's a little racist. You know what I'm saying? If I see the guy rolling up in a big ass truck with a huge flag, a huge Dixie flag, I'm thinking something about him. Regardless of what I know, that makes me a little bit racist. You know what I'm saying? I'm not.
No, we all have
that's what
preconceived notions about certain
things. We have
things.
preconceived notions. So don't give me I'm not racist at all. We all are. Everyone has a little bit of a notion.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be a flaming racist, but you might think some things and you might go home and be embarrassed by it. Like internally, you might think something and you go home and go, oh, that I can't believe I thought that. I'm glad I didn't say that out loud.
Right.
Or wrote it in an email. But people do that. We're not perfect, right?
No. But that argument reminds me, Luther, like if you ever get in a fight with your wife or a girlfriend or something, and you're like, you have a legitimate gripe, and you're up like, maybe she did something as bad as cheat, maybe it's something else that just bothered you, and you're trying to have a conversation. She goes, look, it's over. I'm done talking about this. No. Just because you said it's over, it's not over to me.
You said it's over. Like now you're right. That one I can't stand. And
could you imagine if you said that to your wife, Micah? Could you imagine if your wife was getting on you and you were just like, hey, I said it's over.
Dude.
How well that went, Luther.
No-go.
Tell me how
that's a no-go, and that's disrespectful as well.
It's dismissive.
Are you okay? Can you breathe? Say something.
Sorry.
Did you lose power, or you got a movie going on there? Or?
No, man. My remote was going haywire, and I made it fix itself. It has the little whatever.
So look. So my other question about this, without getting off the subject of race on it, the fact that he was not an NFL employee in 2011, should that matter, or is the PR nightmare? Because they threw it real. This is at Mark Davis's feet right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is what the NFL essentially did, because he was not an NFL employee,
right?
But at the same time, he's your employee now. And I was just listening to Adam Schefter, who said they just received more emails that haven't come out yet.
Correct.
So this could get worse.
And Gruden already said, he apologized. He said some bad things about Goodell as well. And his excuse was it was near the lockout and they were taking away the game he loved for so many people, blah, blah, blah. Right? Okay. If John wasn't so arrogant about it, like it's over, I said what I said, now you let me live my life. That's how he sounds, man. And
I don't think that's the way I'd have handled it as a.
And he's like, whatever. You can't tell me nothing, and that's John.
Another part of that. So, do you think getting into the NFL? Do you think that distraction had anything to do with the Raiders losing to the Bears? Because I'll tell you what,
He looked horrible.
Well, I'm not looking at the Urban Meyer situation thinking that's why they lost to the Titans. The Jaguars lost because they blow. I mean, I'm not saying it helped, but they were losing that game regardless.
Look, man, they played well on Thursday night before the fingering. And
man, what do you? I think he's got more. I think Urban Meyer has more problems at home right now than he does in the locker room.
Unless they're swingers.
Maybe she was cool with it. Who knows? I don't know his life. I'm not trying to
I don't
judge
know
anybody.
his life, and I'm not judging him with his life. I'm judging him as a public guy. He's a head coach, bro.
Yeah.
The head coach, and he didn't take the freaking plane back with the team from Ohio.
And didn't tell them.
Didn't tell them. He didn't go see his son's game that night. He went to the bar and groped up on a chick. And on top of that, I heard his wife was in the bar with him. Don't know if that's true. I heard she was like in another location. I don't know if that's true. I'm not saying that it's true.
Look, we speculate here. We don't deal in facts. We speculate.
We don't
That's what we
deal in
do.
facts. We don't. I'm not dealing in facts. I'll tell you if it's something that I know. But that's what I someone messaged me a story. But not.
But you know what? I'll tell you what. Even if they're kind of into that stuff, I'll tell you what. Even if there's an agreement, don't you embarrass me. And you made me look bad. His wife. There's nothing else she could say. You made me look bad. This video is all over the internet.
It's all over the interwebs, bro. It looks really bad. It looks horrible. Like, I'm telling you, John Gruden really needs Urban Meyer to go to another bar and get this heat off of him.
They should start a bowling team right now.
Hey, so
you know what? The only worst argument, Luther, that Gruden could have said would be, "Hey, look what Urban Meyer did."
Exactly. He should have probably said that. I'm telling you right now, who has the most awkward locker room? Raiders or Jaguars?
I'm gonna say Raiders because you have a lot of black people in there.
I'm gonna say the Raiders too. Because
most of those guys in the Jaguar locker room, they don't like. I mean,
so the Jaguar locker room is just confirmation because I'm hearing that people don't like Urban anyways. It's already a shit show, and they're probably
it was bad before.
See, he's a shit show. Look at him; he's acting like he's 22. In the Raiders locker room, you got some guys saying, "Man, fuck this guy."
Yeah,
you got some guys saying that now. Don't get me wrong. Did you hear Moss and even the guy Teddy Bruschi? Bruschi was
Moss was in tears, wasn't he?
Huh?
Wasn't Moss like getting tears?
Dude, yeah. Bruschi was like, I expect Bruschi to say, look, it happened years ago, give him a chance. Bruschi was like, look, I'm going to play hard for you, but I don't want to. He said, I don't want to. After hearing that, he said, I got to feed my family, so I'm going to play hard, but I don't want to play for you. And I was like, I wonder how many other guys are like that. Because Bruschi don't look like me. You know what I'm saying? I wonder how many guys that look like me are really more upset about it. You know what I'm saying?
And not many black free agents coming to Raiders next year.
Right. I'm not saying you have to because you're brown, right? I'm just saying it's just the nature of it. Like, the person who's going to be a little more upset automatically is a brother, you know?
And I think it's easy for people like Mike Tirico last night and other like Josh Jacobs. I think it was today or yesterday. And like, well, I've known him for X amount of years, whatever. That's not the guy I knew. I could be a complete racist, Luther. You wouldn't know what I was saying behind your back.
Also, my cousin always teases me. He's like, you're studying up now because I am huge on like true crime and serial killing. He's like, if I have to write you from jail because you're getting your PhD in serial killing, that's all you do. And I'm laughing. He's like, that's all I do. I'm studying up to be a serial killer. Guess what? Most serial killers don't tell their neighbors they're killing people at night.
What does everybody say on the nightly newscast? Like, he seemed like such a nice guy.
Such a nice guy.
I just never would have expected Tom. I just didn't think.
I never thought Tom ate human hearts.
He was at our house for dinner like once a week.
Right, and he probably was eyeballing my neck. He wanted to slice it. That's what I'm saying. Look, I'm not saying the guy is that. Is he an asshole? He is.
He is in general. The only argument anyone could say, and if I was somebody's PR person, I would just say, if I'm Gruden, That's not true. I don't hate black people. I hate everyone. That's the truth. He hates everybody.
Except for when he was on Monday Night Football, then he loved everyone.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
That's right.
that is so funny. He really could say that. Look, I'm not a racist. I fucking hate everybody. If he said that you know what, that would have been kind of awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I would have been like, I changed. I like Gruden now.
The other thing I want to discuss real quickly is, did you see Ryan Tapera, his comments after last night's White Sox Astros game? He's accusing them of cheating again.
Really?
Well, they beat him 12-6 First of all, let me just say something. I saw a commercial for White Sox Astros Game 3, and I was like, Game 3? I didn't even know the playoffs started.
Dude,
I don't even. You do because you're a Braves fan.
No. Seriously, I was sitting there earlier today working, and my phone beeps and says game start, and I'm like, game start?
What game?
The Braves played Game 3 today, and I'm like, what the hell, dude? They were like, oh, and last night was a great Dodgers job. I'm like, when did the game happen?
They've done a lousy job of getting eyeballs. Maybe it's just I don't care. I'm a Phillies fan, and
no, I'm a Braves fan, bro. I didn't know the Braves played today at 1. Micah, today is Monday. It would have been easier for me to travel to Atlanta today and catch a game as opposed to traveling and catching tomorrow's game. I would have at least attempted to catch a game. You're right. I didn't know, bro. I mean, come on, that's our fault. We can easily find out. But still, I'm like, we're focused on football right now too, kind of, especially on Sunday. But yeah, bro, I think I lost you. So I'm just gonna keep talking. So I'm gonna.
I'm still here.
You just calling Cowherd right now since I can't hear Micah. Yeah, I can't hear you, bro.
I can see.
I can't hear you.
We're gonna set up a GoFundMe page. There's new internet service.
No,
are you serious? You can't hear me?
Your internet service. I mean, I got video and everything. Oh, now you're crap.
Now do we have it back?
Micah, where are you? In the mountains someplace?
No, this is not a Poconos. I'm not in the mountains. I don't live there anymore. I actually probably had a better internet, full Wi-Fi signal. I don't know what the problem. Zach, producer Zach. Zach, can you hear us?
Hey, I'm gonna go.
Well, you know what? Someone can edit this. All right, someone can edit this part out, right? Can't we do that? Can we take 2 files and edit them together? Do we have that capability? Well, while we wait, I'm going to sing a song for everyone. Zach, can you hear me?
Producer Zach.
Hey,
I'm not sure what's going on.
Hey, producer Zach.
That's fine on my side.
Is it just possible to edit that part out and splice them together?
Yeah, but it's live right now, so there are people.
I don't know about that. My friends that all download it. When I say my friends, I think both of them.
Wow, look at my camera's even worse than yours. Jesus.
What's the deal with the? I don't get it. I haven't had connection issues tonight.
Yeah, this was never.
You think it's the
a problem in
server?
previous ones.
Think it's our host?
Could be me. I don't know how. I mean, look at this camera of mine. Could be. I just heard Luther come back on. Here he is.
No, but you were way clearer earlier. How we doing, Luther?
Dude, your shit is fucked up.
It is not.
Might be mine.
I think it might be our server.
It has to be.
Well, you guys look like you're good now, right?
Out of 5 signals for my Wi-Fi, I have 8. So,
Oh, I've got 9.
yeah, I'm thinking it's fucking it's Restream.
All right, so anyway, we'll come back to that, and we can link we can cut that part out, and we will. So the whole thing with cheating, Luther, this is what I wanted to ask you about. Not whether the Astros are cheating. I really don't care what your opinion is or anybody's opinion. We'll never know who's doing what. What's your opinion overall on cheating in sports? And I ask you that as someone that used a lot of stickum well after it was illegal in NFL. Like, you look like Lester Hayes out there.
First off, if I was a cheater, I would have played 8 years because I would have fucking did a cycle of steroids. I'm serious.
Stickum.
Like everyone else, well, not everyone.
Not in the NFL.
But there were guys doing it because when the Cream and Clear came out, they had those undetectable things. And
Cream and Clear, that's right.
After I got done playing, I heard there were people on our team that were doing stuff
On the Eagles?
on the Panthers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, shit. If I had taken a cycle, I was a speed guy. Imagine if I was faster. Imagine if I was a little stronger. I wouldn't have done it.
It would have helped you with your hamstrings.
I don't even put. Yeah, but I could run fast and block. I don't even. I don't smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? I'm afraid to put stuff in my body, so I know I wouldn't have done it. But I'm thinking if I was a cheater, I might have been like, well, you know what? I can give up this 1 year that's going to possibly screw up a few years in the back end and set my family straight for a long time, right?
Yeah, and I can just tell you, anyone that knows, as friends with Luther on Facebook, knows that is not true about putting stuff in your... All that meat that you cook and smoke?
Listen,
Come on.
I told your mom
that ain't kale. It's not kale.
I told your mom not to be telling all about
business. We're not even 30 minutes into the show, and a Micah's mom joke came out. Okay.
You can't be telling all about our business. When she's here with me, it's me and her. I don't need her telling you stuff.
I'm telling her you said that.
And I'm grounding you because you're my stepson now.
Oh my god. that's more creative than okay, hold on. So I got to call up our next. All right, you know what? Because Luther, you were not only at the Eagles-Panthers game yesterday.
Hey,
you played for the Eagles and the Panthers.
Twice.
You did. You kind of went back and forth from 97 with the Eagles to 98 with the Panthers, 99 and 2000 with the Eagles, and then back with the Panthers in 2001 because you thought Steve Smith was cute. Oh,
wow. You're ganging me up.
Hey, I love Steve Smith. I didn't say he wasn't.
That's my dude right there.
I'm a huge fan. Now you texted. Now anyone that's fortunate enough to be on a Luther text message during an Eagles game, you are such a miserable SOB. I get a text in the third quarter. This is the dumbest, worst game I've ever been to. This is worse than D2.
Dude, I almost left. So let me tell you how bad the game was. My buddy came over to my house. And he rode with me because I had my wife's I had asked my wife to take my car because she went to visit her mom, and I got her SUV so we could tailgate a little bit, right? So I saw Alan. I said, just drive over here. We could ride together. There's no need for both of us to pay for parking and have to find park together. Mm-hmm. So Alan's seats, I got his seats after I got mine. So I'm in 139, 19 and 20, right? That's the end. So row 140, Allen was in 145 and 6. So right there, right?
Mhm.
So I'm sitting there with Cam. Cam is like, man, this game sucks. Why is everybody so bad? My son is a fan. He's like, this is
He's a bigger Eagles fan than the Panthers, right?
oh yeah, he is. But
Yeah.
Cam was like, Cam said, this is bad. And I'm cracking up because he's 8. He's like, so Alan texts me, Micah, it's not even halftime yet. And he said, what's your address? And I said, you mean the address that I texted you this morning when you were on your way here?
What's your security code?
He laughed and he says, yeah. I said, why? He said, dude, I'm getting an Uber. This game sucks. He left. He left.
He left before halftime?
He left before halftime. That
Yeah.
shows you how miserable that game was in person.
It was.
So
It was miserable on television too, Luther.
So finally, I got pissed enough to want to leave in the fourth quarter. And Cam never wants to leave games. The score could be 100-20. Cam says, I got to see the ending.
Yeah, because he's like,
Dude,
Dad,
I
I paid for
I-
these tickets. I'm not leaving.
I said, right. I said, Cam, let's get out of here and let's get on. Cam said, okay. I was like, oh, I thought we were going to have a debate. Dude. So I was like, Cam, let's go ahead and pee before we walk to the car.
And they blocked the punt.
And then I hear, we blocked the punt. I'm watching it on the TV as I walk, and I go right back.
Now I can't leave.
Micah, why don't you scoop up the punt and score, by the way?
Look, fair enough. But if he okay. You were on the.
Tries to scoop the ball up and they recover it. It doesn't matter. We get the ball right there.
That's true because it's fourth down. You're right. You're right.
He lays on the ball and doesn't get up. But that wasn't nearly as bad as Miles Sanders.
Oh boy, he gave them 5 timeouts.
He gave them 5 timeouts. They had 3 plus Miles's 2.
2 that went out of bounds.
What are you doing running out of bounds? They coach was like, Gainwell, get in there. But to Miles' defense, he hasn't run a football in about a month.
You know what? And somebody made that point today. Do you think there's something to the fact that he never gets to touch the ball? He never gets to run it, that he was trying to do too much? I get it. If that's the case, but you still have to get down. You can't be running out of bounds with 2 minutes left.
Stupid. I don't care if you've never run the ball in your life. I was being sarcastic. That was very bad. That was awful. You know what? If he broke one for 20 and got to the sideline and screwed up and tried to slide out and went out, that's one thing. It's already first down. We can do this again. He ran out of bounds on freaking let's just stop. Because
all right,
Sirianni is it was a funny thing. I texted Doug Peterson yesterday and I said,
did you really?
During the shit show of the second quarter, I said, where you at, bro? How you doing? Hope all is well. Can you come back? And today he texted me back and he said, what are you doing out there sweating it up and all that? I sent him a picture and he just laughed. He didn't say anything about that. He was like, what are you doing out there and all that? He's sweating it up. I said, man, my son's a bigger Eagle fan than I am. And he was like, there you go. Good dad. But, he said he was doing well. But I'm sorry. We are not a well-coached team, bro.
They're terrible. You know what? But this is what you have. This is what happens, Luther.
Coach for everything, but a coach instills. Dude, Andy was a pain in the ass. Andy was a stickler. Andy was like, Luther, you got to do things right. You can't run a route at 4.7 yards if it needs to be at 5.
Right.
And Andy would say that. He would say, Luther, come on. And then, he wouldn't go nuts. But when it was time for to switch or me to sub out, he would say, 84, come here. Luther, when we run in this, and he liked to use his hand, he's like, when we run in the stick route, you have to get 5. Because when you do that, you're not in the mesh with the quarterback. There's a flat route coming here. There's a coming outside. You got to get there. Andy made sure you were right.
Details.
Details. Listen, he was detailed. Listen, I'm not crushing Sirianni saying fire him next week. Whatever. We have the right to go nuts over our team. It's our team. We own our teams as man. It's the team looks like he doesn't go. It looks like they don't go over stuff.
They once again they had a touchdown called back for an illegal rub in the end zone, and you just had one last week.
Right. But to their defense, that was not a good call.
Luther, he got his hands up and he walked into him.
Micah,
they're going to call it.
But Micah, I'm not. I don't want to argue whether you're right or wrong. I'm just saying that one, I don't think it was a good call. And guess what happened on the next drive? The Panthers did the very same thing when DJ caught that crossing route off the line of scrimmage. They both just ran up the field, and he's within 5 yards, and he's into the other guy. You know what happened on that play? The stupid Panthers DBs both played outside leverage, and the guy, all he had to do was switch. What happened on that play is the Panthers blew it. They blew it and left the guy wide open. But I don't even want to argue that.
I'm just gonna look. I'm gonna put a bow on the Eagles Panthers, and then we'll get on elsewhere. Luther, if I never see a goddamn wide receiver screen again,
my God!
I'm fine.
It looked like Clemson. You can't do that when you're outnumbered. And furthermore, does he not let the quarterback audible? He's outnumbered. There's 7 guys out there. We got 2 tiny guys out there. Change the play. And you don't want to do it with Jalen Reagor as your fucking lead blocker. He doesn't want to give effort. And if he runs another kick out of the end zone from 58 yards deep, I'm going to.
You're not Cordero Patterson.
And I am going to run on the field like the shirtless guy and fight him.
Look, what would be better, Reagor or Justin Jefferson? Just think, you could have screwed it up worse.
Okay, you could have screwed it up even worse. And I know you knew I was going to say that. You could have got Justin Jefferson.
You're never going to hear.
You could have gotten T. Higgins. And I don't care what you say.
I'd take Denzel Mims.
It's not hindsight, because we were arguing about that immediately.
I know.
You mentioned Mims, and I said, look, I love T. Higgins, but
I know you love T. Higgins.
I said, probably Justin Jefferson here, man. But then I was like, you still could take T. Higgins if you don't like Jefferson. And I had someone say, oh man, you don't need another big guy like Alshon. I'm like, have you ever seen Jefferson or T. Higgins? They're not big like Alshon. They're tall and slim.
Tall.
But dude,
get a playmaker. Just get a playmaker.
I don't care what people say. They're like, and I've heard somebody we know always say, if we didn't get J-Jaw, it wasn't going to be Metcalf. It would have been. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. We took J-Jaw, who was a wideout, and we didn't take DK, who was a great wideout. We didn't do it. What were we thinking?
But J.J. Arcega-Whiteside does give you a lot on special teams coverage.
I will punch you in your face.
So anyway, all right, let's get to some of these other games, because we've been the entire time we were supposed to reboot this show, we kept thinking, let's do a half hour. I was looking at all our shows today. We're like over an hour, 45 minutes.
I know.
Do you want to discuss the Jets and the Falcons?
I don't, because you know what? I know this is so unprofessional, but I just realized it's almost 8 and I have to do something at 8. You know what I want to do?
Talk about Carson Wentz tonight. He's playing tonight.
No, I want to do a half hour tomorrow. Can you do tomorrow?
I'll check my schedule.
No, seriously,
Yeah.
let's do a half hour tomorrow, because I've got way too much I want to talk about to try to squeeze it in the next 10 minutes. I have something I have to do. Again, this whole real life shit that we have. No, I'm dead ass serious.
No, I'll do it. It's fine.
I've done it. I've done a ton of work today so I can have some freedom, because I'm leaving town on Wednesday night.
Yeah,
I can do tomorrow. Let's do tomorrow.
Well, Zach's gonna get mad at Zach's gonna get mad at us if we don't make up for not having a show last week, and I don't want him mad at us.
Well, that's fine. We can do one tomorrow.
Okay.
And Uh,
All right, so let's wrap it up. You got to go. Look, thanks everybody for joining us, whether you did or
hey,
not.
hold on. To your point, who plays tonight?
The Colts and the Ravens.
Who you got? I don't even care about the spread. Who you got?
I got to go Ravens until I see more from the Colts.
I hate agreeing with you. God,
I know
the
it
world.
sucks. It's terrible. But anyway, look, hopefully we'll see everybody tomorrow and we won't have the technical issues that we had.
Right.
For Luther Broughton, I'm Micah Warren. We want to thank Zach Cundiff for producing. He did a great job as
Thank
far as
God.
you know. And this is Cheap Shots, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Tell your mom I say hey. Bye.
Hey.